Okay, so we are talking about the shamir that was used for building the Beis Hamikdash. So they're trying to understand, the Gemara tries to clarify at what point were they using the shamir and at what point they weren't using the shamir. So we now the Gemara just said that it's true that they were using the shamir during the construction, but only when they were working on the rocks of the Beis Hamikdash on the Harabais. Outside the Harabais, they were using metals for the rocks. So this is what the Gemara says. Amar Rav Nachman, Niri divrei Rabbi Yehuda be'avnei mikdash. What Rabbi Yehuda says that they weren't using any metal to build the Beis Hamikdash was the Avnei Mikdash, the rocks of the Beis Hamikdash. But Niri divrei Rabbi Nechemia be'avnei Beisai. When they were using metal for building for handling the rocks, was when Shlomo used the rocks to build his own house. So if we say, according to Rabbi Nechemia, that they were using metal outside the rabbis to build, well, in Rabbi Nechemia that says that there was the usage of metal for the rocks of the Beis Hamikdash.
Shamir was metal or stone? Shamir was stone, no?
Shamir was for stone. So they asked, how did they handle the stone? With metal or with the shamir?
Oh, okay. So Shamir, no?
So it depends. It depends who you're asking. Depends who you're asking. So according to Rabbi Nechemia, that says that the rocks of the Beis Hamikdash were handled with metals. So why do the shamir lamali? Why did we need the shamir? And for the Gemara, they were for the avanim of the ephod, right? The ephod was used for Urim V'Sumim. On each stone, there was written the names of the shvatim, and this is how they knew the Urim V'Sumim. Yeah, like we learned this week's today's chitas. We're talking about Urim V'Sumim. Okay, so now he's going to explain how did we use the shamir for Urim V'Sumim. Like it says in the Braise, Avanim alolu, those stones, and koisim aleim bidyon. You weren't able to write the name of the shvatim with ink. Mishum shenemar pituch echoisam. Pituch echoisam is some sort of engravement. But if you say it's engravement, it means that you are taking away part of the stone. And it says, you can't trace it with a piece of metal. They should be full. You cannot take away a little bit of the stone to write something on it. So so then how did they do it? So the Gemara says, you write on it with ink. You do write on it with ink to make the form of the letter. And you bring the shamir. And you put the shamir on the other side of the stone, and then it pops on the other side. Like a fig that pops out when it's mature. So even the fig popped out, it doesn't mean there's any lack in the fig. It's popped out, but there's no lack in it. So the same thing with the stones of the Urim V'Sumim. They were the letters were popped out of the rock. That's according to Rabbi Nechemia. This was the usage of the shamir. Shine. Now the Gemara is going to go on and explain what type of creature was the shamir. So I just told them the mice of the shamir. I don't know, maybe you know it. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. So the shur manga.
Prior, probably about 20 blood.
20 blood before.
You mentioned it. Yeah.
So the way they got it was that they went to Ashmadai Melech HaShedim. Yeah, you know the Maisa?
Yeah, it's so complicated.
Complicated story. Yeah.
So the bottom of what they did, Ashmadai told them that he doesn't have it, the birds have it. So what did they do? The Shluchim of Shlomo Melech, they went to the nest of a bird, and they put glass on top of the nest. And when the bird came to the nest, he couldn't feed his little one. So he was hacking on the glass and he couldn't. So he went away and he came back and he brought the shamir. And the shamir came and broke the glass. And they were able to come and take the shamir. So the Gemara is going to explain what type of creature is this. So the Gemara explains. Shamir zeh, this shamir, briyose kise'oiro. It's the size of a barley. Of barley. And he was created during Sheshes Brachos, which is very interesting. The Lashon Yem is Sheshes Brachos, because everything was created Sheshes Brachos. But in Pirkei Avos he says Ben Hashmoshes. So maybe this is what he means over here. Why does he need to say he was created during Sheshes Brachos?
Well, maybe it's like a few thousand years old.
Yeah, obviously, like maybe he's actually choilek on the Pirkei Avos that he was created Ben Hashmoshes. Pirkei Avos says he was created Ben Hashmoshes. So the Gemara says over here, like literally, what the Gemara is trying to say over here is that he wasn't created Ben Hashmoshes. He was created during the regular day of the animals. Yeah.
It's a type of animal.
It's a type of worm.
Worm, which means it reproduces.
Yeah.
There is more than one.
Yeah. Allegedly.
If I made another deal, you could say that only by Bein Hashmashos was it Sheshes Yemei Bereshis, because a couple hours before that it was just 5.5.
Right.
But by then now it's Shesh. Now it's 6.
A shiny deal. And then the Gemara goes on and says, and anything as strong as it is cannot hold it, because it breaks through everything. So find the Gemara, I said, then how do you keep it? If you put it in a metal box, it's going to go through it. How do you keep it? So, and for the Gemara, how do you keep it? You wrap it in sponges of walls, which is very soft, and you keep it in a basket of lead, exactly. Full with leftovers of barley, like the what covers the barley. So it's interesting, something that goes through the hardest material is kept in something very, very soft. Interesting.
And they use lead because lead is like a weak metal, or like
no, lead because it needs to hold somewhere. Yeah, so this is the mice of the Shamir. Rabbi Yami says. So now because he talks about the Shamir, he's going to talk about other few things that were lost after the Churban Beis Rishon. Mishachar Beis Mikdash Rishon, when the Beis Mikdash Rishon was destroyed, Batla Shira Paranda. Shira Paranda was a type of very expensive silk. And one more thing also, Uschoches Levana, a white glass. White glass was also very expensive. It was at the time of the Beis Mikdash, but it wasn't after that. Tanya Namiochi, we also learned something similar. Mishachar Beis Mikdash Rishon, when the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, Batla Shira Paranda, it was the white silk, the expensive silk went out of, it disappeared of supply. It was Choches Levana, and also the white glass, as we mentioned before. And he adds over here one more thing, and it says Berechev Barzel. Rechev Barzel, it's this type of cars that they used to have, that were attached to horses, but it was made of metal. And
Rechev is a spirit, no?
Rechev today it's a car, but this is the way they used to commute. So all of them was made out of wood. And then when the Romans came, they came up with brand new and modern. And the reason why they weren't around after the Churban is because after the Churban, all the roads were destroyed, so they couldn't support those type of vehicles. Okay, and then the Gemara says a few more things. ויש אומרים also what disappeared after the חורבן בייס ראשון, אף יין קרוש אבל מסניר. It was a type of wine that was solid, more solid, more coagulated.
Like
That-
thick,
Thick, yeah, a thick
like a port, like a
port.
syrup, like very thick.
Port is liquid.
Oh, but this is like
This is like was korush. It means it was in a solid form,
Frozen.
not frozen.
Coagulated.
Korush coagulated. Yeah, korush it's used mainly for blood, to say that the blood becomes coagulated. And the Gemara says so. This also went out of supply. It wasn't around anymore. And this, the Gemara says, it looks like a doimike gulek dveila. It looks like a cake made of figs. And that's it. And that's it. Those all the things that disappeared after the Churban. And also one more thing the Gemara says, the Neifes Tzufim. I think that's called Neifes Tzufim. So Gemara is going to explain what is Neifes Tzufim. Gemara, in fact, what's my Neifes Tzufim? What is Neifes Tzufim that was here during the Beis Hamikdash Rishon and disappeared after after the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash? Amar Rav is explaining what it is. Soiles shetzof al gabe nofa. When you sip it was the leftovers of the flour. When you sip the flour, that it was left on the silk, the thing you sip with,
yeah, sifter.
the sifter. You see? And he says what he was, how he looked like. The
Sift or sieve.
ah,
A sift or a sieve.
Yes.
You know, sieve. Different levels of.
yeah.
Very fine flour.
Fine.
So what was this thing that so he explaining. He says, it looks like a dough that was worked on, that was kneaded, yeah, in honey and oil. So this type of flour was so rich that it looked like a dough that was without adding honey and oil. That's how it looked like. Levi said how good this flour was. It's like you put two bread in the same oven. And they raise together until they reach each other and they become one big bread. This is how good this flour was. And this flour was not around anymore after the Churban Beis Rishon. So this is all saying of all the things that were before the Beis Hamikdash and are not here anymore. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Omar. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, "Zet v'shabah min hatzifya." This thing, the Neifes Tzufim that we mentioned before, he said it's not the flour that we are describing over here. He said it's a type of honey that comes from a tzifya. So for the Gemara, what is my mashma? What is tzifya that we are mentioning over here? So Rav Shishis explains. Rav Shishis is translating. He says, "Keman de nazon de briosa, the shaitan berume almo masen duf shom is vetura." He's explaining the way that the bees are making the honey, that to have the best honey as possible, the bees are collecting the pollen from the heights of the mountains. So with this honey that comes from the bees of the heights of the mountains, this is how you create the best honey. And
Dvash is not talking about honey from bee, from tamarin.
Nachon, but over
We're
here,
talking about one from bee.
yeah, this is a different
Torah is mountain.
Torah is mountain. Yeah, we say in every Shabbos in Shalosh Tzidis in the new in Bnei Chala, we say Torah. But I can't.
It's hard to keep up. It makes them a first.
So then they want to explain how good this honey was. So it says it's nanosam. It brings a mishnah to describe exactly this type of honey. So there's a halacha that if you pour a liquid toil into a liquid tome, even though you're pouring and it creates one stream, the liquid toil in the original keli doesn't become tummy because he was poured. Why? Because it's pouring. It's one stream. It doesn't connect really, unless for this type of honey. This type of honey, because it was so good and so thick and so rich, that if you pour it, the streams connects and it makes it tummy.
למה אין מעבירים בדבש מפני שהדבר אומר ככל סוף ודבש וצקיר ממנו יישאר להשכם. So dvash wasn't to be allowed to be used.
What?
Dvash was not supposed to be used.
No. This is talking about things that went out of supply.
Oh, that's nothing to do with the...
Yeah. He just talks about the beauty of Yerushalayim and why people were rich and how people enjoyed good stuff, and it was so enjoyable. And after the Churban, people didn't have it anymore. So he brings down all this type of...
It's like Yain Nesach, too. Like, you know, whatever Mushal wine, you don't have this issue of the stream, but if it's Yain Chaim, then you do. You have to be careful of it if there's...
Right, this is different halachas.
Right, but
Different
it brought it to the mind because it's so chashuv, like it's
Right.
better, and it's so good that it will actually travel up the stream, the Torah,
Right,
or
right.
so to speak, whatever.
So to speak, yeah. Yeah, you're bringing up a good point. Sure. So then, now there's a machlekes about what is zifi means. If he means a place, or he means that they were mixing the honey with something else. So he said dvash. So he said my zifim. What is zifim? It's a honey that you make it false a little bit. You add some water in it. No, it's the place of it's the name of a place. That was the name of zifim. Okay, so everybody brings a proof to make his point, and the Maise, it says like this, that we don't know if it's honey that was mixed with something or it's the name of a place. That's right. Okay, let's do the next one.
Yeah.
Kuf Chof Ches. Yeah, what time is mine?
In 15 minutes.
Okay, it's going to be in a few minutes. Okay. Do Kuf Chof Ches and we'll be done. Okay, it says in the Mishnah, Mishachorav Beis HaMikdash, Posku Anshe Amona. The people with the Munah stopped being Posku Anshe Amona.
Like you don't have people like this.
You don't have people with the Munah anymore. So frag the Gemara, my Anshe Amona, what does that mean? What does the Mishnah mean by Anshe Amona? Amar Rabbi Yitzchak answers, what's the pshat? Elu bnei Adam, those are the people, amaminim b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. The people who amaminim b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu, those are the people that weren't around anymore after the Beis HaMikdash. Right? Tanya, like it says in the Braisa, Rabbi Elazar HaGodol, Rabbi Elazar the Great says, Mish yesh lo pas b'salui. Anybody who has what to eat for today, Ve'oimer, but he says and he's worried, Ma yechal macha, what will I eat tomorrow? He's from the Katna Amano. Katna Amano, the translation literally will be small-minded emunah, like a small-minded emunah type of guy. Right? So if you have what to eat today, you should be sign up.
The month they didn't have for the next day, so because in Israel, you know, that tomorrow we're going to have also not. You know,
Oh, so the daven every day.
every day for we should get the new portion.
Right. So,
You go shopping, you go shop for the whole week. You know?
right.
Over there, every day, and if you left over, it starts warming and rotting. So you have to
Yeah.
hope for tomorrow you get a new.
Yeah. So, sag weiter die Gemorre. V'hainu to Rabbi Elazar. This is what Rabbi Elazar said. My dich say, what it says in the pasuk? Ki mi bazliim ktanos. Migro matzadik v'shiz bal shulchan l'ased lavei. Ktanos, shayu b'hem. Shelo yiminu b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? So here it says that Shelo yiminu b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They Pashut didn't believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not that they were small-minded in Emunah. They Pashut didn't believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. שבבזין דין אביהם לא עשית לו, אבל לפי הריבונו שלו לא מה חשתו עשית לפרמיהם, לא מעטר, יכיסו שניהם בהם. So, there is it says that if somebody is doing bad things, his little kids are dying. So it says over here, he brings in the pasuk, he learns from the pasuk that when those people who are doing bad things are being punished, that their kids are dying, when they go in front of Beis Din Shel Maila, after 120, when they go in front of Beis Din Shel Maila, they're being judged. You did this and this. So the neshamas of the little kids that died because they were punished, they come and say, you took us from them. So they were punished already. So you don't have to punish them again. So this is bringing from a pasuk about people who had small emunah, which, by the way, it says that Noach was mikatne amona. Noach was part of the katne amona.
Maimin lo mamin, that there's more than
Exactly. So
Yeah, to be pushed in.
Rashi says over there, Maimin ve'eino Maimin. It does. I'm trying to translate it like small-minded emunah, but the chat of Rashi is that you Pasha don't believe. Meaning to say, if somebody believes in Hashem, but now he doesn't believe it, now he doesn't believe. It's not like in general he does, and now he has a chalishis. Now he doesn't believe. It's an interesting twist.
Only when